Welcome all my web secondary primary school. That's our Wiki time for science, and today we'll start our new lesson of our syllabus this semester, which is lever law. But before we start this lesson, let me remind you what we have studied at the last episode, which deals with the lever. آخر حلقة اتكلمنا أو الحلقة الأولى الأسبوع اللي فات اتكلمنا عن levers. Levers means معناها الروافع. And I told you, sorry, all things, all machines, all simple machines that we use in our daily life that without electricity, without motors are lever. إيه هي lever؟ هي أي آلة بسيطة بدون موتور بدون كهرباء. Such as scissors, such as pliers, such as pincers, such as balance. Many lever we have studied the last episode. So let me remind you what we have studied at the last episode. What's meant by lever, what are the type of levers, and what the importance of lever also, and how can we determine the type of lever. And this is the most important point which we have studied in the last episode. أهم نقطة درسناها الأسبوع اللي فات, how to determine the type of lever. So let me remind you what we have studied. We have studied that any lever consists of three main parts, which are fulcrum, effort force, and resistance force. أي lever فيها 3 points هم fulcrum, effort force, and resistance force. Again, any lever consists of 3 main points, which are resistance force, effort force, and fulcrum. طبعا الترتيب مش مهم قوي. Resistance force R, effort force F, fulcrum O. Again, okay, resistance force, effort force, fulcrum. So what's meant by resistance force? What's meant by resistance force? Resistance force is the force that resulted from the weight of the body that we want to move. هي وزن الجسم اللي أنا عايز أحركه. Okay, it's the force that resulted from the weight of the body that we want to move. It's the force that resulted from the weight of the body that we want to move. هنا ممكن أغير كلمة move وأقول that we want to crack, that we want to carry, that we want to cut. Anything I want to do is the resistance force. يبقى هي resistance force هي المكان اللي أنا عايز أعمله, الحاجة اللي أنا عايز أعملها. So again, resistance force is the force which is resulted from the weight of the body that we want to move. So what about effort force? Effort force has a symbol F, as we say, or as we said before, and it is the force that is exerted by a person to equilibrate the resistance. It is the force that is exerted, هي القوة اللي بيبذلها الشخص to equilibrate the resistance, عشان يتوازن مع المقاومة. يعني هي مكان ايديا, انا بشوف الليفر اللي بستخدمها which I use, and the place of your hand is that the effort force. مكان ايديا هو اللي بسميه effort force. The place which you hold the lever, or where you use the lever, is the effort force. So what's meant by fulcrum? What's meant by fulcrum? Fulcrum, that is a fixed point. That is a fixed point where the bar rotates on. Again, fulcrum is a fixed point where the bar rotates on. So let me remind you now what's meant by lever. إيه هو تعريف lever? And we have studied that lever is a rigid bar. هي ساق متينة. Straight or curved, as we want to do, straight or curved, that is rotates around the fixed point called the fulcrum, and has two forces, or affected by two forces, which are resistance force and effort force. I think this definition is a little bit long, but it's a very important definition, and we must understand it. So let me write the definition in details with you. So I said that lever is what? Lever is a rigid bar. Lever is a rigid bar. هي ساق متينة that rotates around a fixed point called what? Called fulcrum. And we have agreed, اتفقنا كلنا الأسبوع اللي فات, the fulcrum has the symbol what? The symbol O. And we must notice that الفulcrum دايما عنده symbol O. And what else? And is affected, and the lever is affected, lever بتتأثر by two forces, قوتين, by two forces, which are effort force, which has a symbol what? Yes, I can hear you. The great pupils or the excellent pupils say F, effort force, has the symbol F, and resistance, which has the symbol and resistance which has the symbol what? Surely we will have the symbol R, and resistance which has the symbol R. So I can summarize. ممكن نلخص كل اللي قلناه ان الليفر فيها 3 main points which are fulcrum O, effort force F, and resistance R. Again, fulcrum O, effort force F, and resistance R. So again, lever is a very important simple machine that contains 3 main points which are fulcrum O, effort force F, resistance R. And if you determine each those 3 points, or those 3 points, it will be easy. That can you determine the type of lever, first or second or third lever. So now let's have a practice for that, or examples of each type of lever, such as example of first class lever, second class lever, and at last third class lever. يبقى قلنا الاسبوع اللي فات مش هنحفظ انواع الليفر، لكن بليز مهم قوي قوي اعرف اعمل determination تحديد لنوع الليفر عن طريق determining the 3 points which are F, O, R. So example of first class lever such as seesaw, crowbar, scissors, pliers, nutcracker, stapler, ice holder or sweet holder, wheelbarrow. Example of levers: seesaw, crowbar, scissors, plier, many levers in our daily life: nutcracker, stapler, ice holder, sweet holder, and wheelbarrow. So now types of lever are classified according to the midpoint. يبقى عشان أعرف نوع الليفر, it's very important to determine the 3 points as I said before, and especially the midpoint. لازم أعرف كويس قوي 3 points ومين هو اللي في الميدبوينت اللي في المنتصف, F or R or O. So let me draw a sample drawing for those 3 types of lever. This sample drawing can help us to determine the type of lever. First class lever, as we said before, has what? Has O in the middle, between R and F. Has O in the middle between R and F. Has fulcrum. يبقى الفulcrum قلنا ناخد بالنا كتير جدا عنده رمز O ما بين R و F أو ما بين resistance وال effort force. So what about second class lever? Second class lever has what? Has R in the middle between F and O. Okay, طبعا ال two sides مش هيفرقوا معايا قوي لو قلت F and O and F it's the same. يعني two sides left to right هما the same lever. So what about the third class lever? The third class lever has F in the middle, between what? Between resistance and fulcrum, or fulcrum and resistance. يبقى قلت أكتر مرة مهم قوي عندي أعرف ال middle point. Which middle point in the lever? If O in the middle, if fulcrum in the middle, it will be first class lever. If R in the middle, it will be second class lever. If F in the middle, it will be third class lever. So again, if I determine the midpoint, لو حددنا النقطة اللي في المنتصف، لو هي O هتبقى first class lever أو النوع الأول من الروافع. R resistance هي اللي في الميدل, it will be second class lever أو النوع الثاني من الروافع. F in the middle أو effort force, it will be the third class lever أو النوع الثالث من الروافع. So I have a secret word. Secret word means what? ORF, O-R-F. O-R-F, it's a secret word. You must remind it, or you must memorize it to determine the type of lever. So again, I have 3 types of lever which are first class that has O in the middle, second class that has R in the middle, third class that has F in the middle. So let me make a definition for first class lever. طب نعمل definition مع بعض للنوع الأول. ممكن نقول هما الليفرز اللي عندهم O in the middle. نقولها بقى بالإنجلش مع بعض. They are levers which have or that have the fixed point O in the middle between resistance force and effort force. يبقى هنا الديفينيشن قلنا أكتر مرة بنحب أوي الطالب الكرييتيف، الطالب المبدع. أنا مش بحفظ ديفينيشن زي ما هو، أنا بفهمه. أنا بقول يعني إيه first class lever. They are the levers that have O fulcrum between resistance force and effort force. زي ما شفنا من شوية في الدياجرام المبسط قلنا إن الفيرست كلاس lever هي اللي فيها O in the middle between R and F. So what about second class lever? I can say they are the levers that has or that have resistance force between effort force and fulcrum. هي الليفر اللي عندها resistance force between effort force and fulcrum. So what about third class lever? Third class lever, they are levers that have effort force between resistance force and fulcrum. So I have three types of lever, and each type of them depend on the position of the midpoint. كل نوع منهم معتمد على مين هو اللي في الميدل. التو sides ما بيفرقوش معايا خالص. They are the same. لو عكست two sides right to left, left to right, they are the same, but it's necessary to know the midpoint only. So now we said that first class lever has what in the middle? First class lever has O in the middle, or has fulcrum in the middle between effort force and resistance force. So we have many examples in our daily life of first class lever, such as what? Let us see, such as seesaw الأرجوحة أو المرجحة, crowbar العتلة, suction pump طلمبة المياه أو مضخة المياه, بدل المجداف, nail clipper قلامة الأظافر أو قصافة الأظافر, pliers الكماشة, scissors المقص, balance الميزان, pincers البنسة أو بنسة الكهرباء يعني أو التكنيشنز الفنيين, claw hammer خلاعة المسامير. So let me draw some examples of first class lever to let you practice to know the first class lever. So let me draw at first the scissors. Scissors المقص like this shape. Here is the effort force. زي ما قلنا الأسبوع اللي فات مكان إيديا هو ده ال effort force. Where is the fulcrum? Fulcrum is here at this nail. Fulcrum O. What about the resistance? Resistance قلنا أكتر مرة الحاجة اللي أنا عايز أعملها. So I can cut papers by scissors. So resistance is at the place of the thing that will be cut. So what is the middle point here? مين هو اللي في النص هنا? Surely it will be the fulcrum. So it will be what? It will be first class lever. First class lever. Why? Or give reason? Because it has O in the middle between resistance force and effort force. So again, it has O in the middle between resistance force and effort force, or it has fulcrum, so it will be first class lever. So scissors are considered from first class lever. So what about pliers? Pliers, الكماشة. Pliers is also a first class lever. Why? It has this shape. Okay, it has this shape. Why? Because it has what in the middle? طبعا قلنا الرسم مش لازم يكون very accurate. أنا بس برسم drawing أو diagram ليا أنا عشان أعرف بس ال 2 أو 3 points which are F O R and determine the middle point to know the type of lever. So here I have what in the middle? I have O in the middle between resistance and effort force. Resistance is here and effort force is here. So pliers أو الكماشة is considered as first class lever also. Why? Or give reason? Because it has what in the middle? It has O in the middle. So pliers is considered as a first class lever. Pliers is considered as a first class lever. Why? Or give reason? Because it has fulcrum O between resistance force and effort force. It has fulcrum O between resistance force and effort force. So let me draw another example of first class lever because they are the most common in our daily life. أكتر نوع منتشر في حياتنا اليومية هو first class lever. So the suction pump. Suction pump is a difficult example for drawing, and I try to draw it for you. So suction pump, suction pump أو مضخة المياه, suction pump. Okay, it's a cylinder like this, and it has a handle which we use, and it has an axe like this, and a tape for water. Okay, so do you know the suction pump? It has the color or the red color. Okay, so the suction pump has three main points which are at the handle there is an effort force. قلنا أكتر مرة مكان إيديا أنا أو المكان اللي هستخدم منه الليفر هو ال effort force. Here is the fulcrum أو محور الارتكاز fulcrum, and here is the resistance, the water which I pump from the ground or from underground water is the resistance. So which part is in the middle? Surely it has the fulcrum in the middle between effort force and resistance. So the suction pump, is a first class lever. Why? Or give reason? Because it has what? It has fulcrum between effort force and resistance force. So the give reason in this lesson كل give reason في الدرس ده تقريبا بنفس الطريقه او بنفس الاجابه. ليه هي السكشن بامب فيرست كلاس ليفر؟ كانه بالظبط بيقول لي هو مين اللي في الميدل. احنا قلنا هنا سكشن بامب او كل انواع النوع الاول او كل examples of أو كل أمثلة النوع الأول examples of the first class lever has the fulcrum between effort force and resistance force, so it will be the first class lever because it has fulcrum between effort force and resistance force. So another example is the paddle أو مجداف of the ship or of the boat that we use to sail in the sea or in the river. I can draw it for you. Imagine that I have a small pot like this, and I have a paddle like this, okay, and some water. Okay, so where is the effort force? Effort force is the place at I hold or I catch the lever, so it will be here, effort force. Where is the place of fulcrum? Fulcrum is the place of movement or in the rotation place. هو مكان الحركة تقريبا هيكون هنا. So fulcrum will be here. So where is the resistance force? Resistance force is at the place of water that you want to move. So it will be here. So here I have what in the middle? مين هو اللي في المنتصف? Surely it will be O or the fulcrum between effort force and resistance force. So it will be what? It will be also first class lever. Why? Because it has O in the middle between effort force and resistance force. So the بدل أو المجداف بنعتبره ليه من النوع الأول؟ لأن عنده O between effort force and resistance force. Again, the بدل is considered from the first class lever because it has fulcrum between effort force and resistance force. So now let's move to the second type of lever, which is called the second class lever. النوع الثاني هنسميه second class lever, and we have studied that it has or they have the resistance between F and O. هم عندهم a resistance هي in the middle. So they are levers that have the resistance force R between the effort force F and fulcrum O. Again, second class lever. They are levers that have the resistance force R between effort force and the fulcrum. فكركم تاني بالsecret word. On the secret word from a while. ORF, ORF نكتبها مع بعض. ORF, ORF. If O in the middle, لو ال O هي in the middle, it will be first class lever. If R in the middle, it will be second class lever. If F in the middle, it will be third class lever. It will be again third class lever. So what about the second class lever, which I deal with it now? It will have the resistance between effort force and fulcrum. هيكون عندها resistance between effort force and the fulcrum. So now let's have examples of second class lever such as wheelbarrow عربة الحديقة, nutcracker كسرة البندق, stapler الدباسة, soda water opener فتاحة زجاجات. كل دول example of second class lever, and second class lever has little example than the first class lever. دايما first class lever عندها examples أكتر بكتير جدا من second class lever. So now let me practice by drawing how to determine the second class lever such as the wheelbarrow. Let me draw the wheelbarrow. نرسم مع بعض wheelbarrow أو عربة الحديقة زي ما اتفقنا. Wheelbarrow is like that, and it has only one wheel, okay, and it has two handles like this. We use it in moving bricks, sand, cement. بستخدمها في نقل الأسمنت أو الرمل أو حاجة زي أو ما شابه ذلك يعني. أو كمان ممكن نستخدمها في ال gardens to move or to carry vegetables and fruits. So the thing here I can carry is the resistance. الحاجة اللي عايز أنقلها هنا هي resistance أو الحاجة اللي عايز أنقلها. This wheel, this only wheel will be the fulcrum or O, and the place at I use this wheelbarrow will be effort force. So which one here? Which point in the middle? Surely the resistance force R will be in the middle. So it will be what? I can hear excellent pupil says it will be second class lever. Why? Why it's a second class lever? Because it has resistance between effort force and fulcrum. عشان عندها resistance ما بين ال effort force والفالكرم، عشان كده هنسميها second class lever. So again the wheelbarrow is a second class lever because it has the resistance between effort force and fulcrum. Again, wheelbarrow is considered from second class lever. Give reason, because it has the resistance force or R between fulcrum O and effort force F. So again, you must remind, you must memorize, you must keep by heart all the 3 points F, R, O, and you must practice by drawing to determine the type of lever according to the midpoint. Another example of second class lever will be the stapler أو الدباسة stapler. Let me draw it. Stapler will be like that. It has a base like this and a holder or a handle like this, and the upper handle must be a little bit longer than the base. دايما الدباسة مهما كانت صغيرة هنلاقي الupper handle اليد اللي فوق أكبر أو أطول شوية من lower hand أو lower base. Here is the place of paper, so it will be the resistance force. Here is the fulcrum. Surely the fulcrum is here. The place of movement or the place of rotation هو مكان الارتكاز أو محور الارتكاز. And here is the effort force. لو عندي دباسة كبيرة شوية جرب كده تستخدمها مرة from this place and from this place, from this place and from the outside place. Which place will be easier to use? Surely this place. So the effort force must be outside. دايما كده الدباسة بالذات قلت الكلام ده الأسبوع اللي فات ممكن example يكون بيلخبط شوية. ساعات بيعتبروا stapler first class lever. لا طبعا ده كلام مش صح خالص، مش علمي جدا. Stapler is a second class lever. Why? Because it has resistance between fulcrum and effort force. Because it has resistance between the resistance in the midpoint هي اللي في النص هي resistance أو الميدل بوينت هي resistance مش ال effort force. Surely لازم تكون effort force بره، لكن ممكن تكون الدباسة a little small صغيرة شوية فمش هيفرق معايا قوي لأني هدبس كمية ورق صغيرة، فممكن تكون الايفورت فورس هي اللي جوه، لكن لا الصح انها تكون بره. ودايما هنلاقي الابر هاند عندها ايفورت فورس اكبر بكتير او اطول سنه صغيره من الريزيستنس تحت او من اللور بيز القاعده اللي تحت. So again stapler is a second class lever. Why? Because it has the resistance between effort force and the fulcrum. Again stapler you must remind افتكر كويس قوي stapler is a second class lever not first class lever. Another example of second class lever is a soda water opener or nutcracker كسرة البندق أو فتحة الزجاجات. All of them are second class lever. Why? Or give reason. As I said before, because they have resistance force between effort force and the fulcrum. So now let's move to the third class lever. النوع الثالث third class lever. We can make a definition for these levers easily by saying that they are levers that have the effort force F بقى المرة دي between resistance force and the fulcrum. So again third class lever they are lever that have the effort force F between the resistance force R and the fulcrum. So again the difference between all the three type of lever is that the midpoint. الفرق الوحيد بين ال three type of lever لغاية النهارده هو الميدل بوينت أو النقطة اللي في المنتصف. If O in the middle, I said before, it will be first class lever. If R in the middle, it will be second class lever. If F in the middle, it will be third class lever. So the secret word كلمة سرية اللي قلناها أو اللي تفكرنا بكل أنواع الليفر O R F. ORF. O in the middle, it will be first class lever. R in the middle, it will be second class lever. F in the middle, it will be third class lever. So let's have some examples of third class levers such as tweezers أو الملقاط زي ما بنسميه، manual broom المكنسة اليدوية، hockey bat مضرب الهوكي، fishing tool سنارة الصيد، ice holder ماسك التلج، sweet holder ماسك الحلوى، coal holder ماسك الفحم. So we have many examples also of third class lever, and now let me draw a sample drawing or sample diagram for some examples of third class lever to determine the type of them. So let's draw with ourselves. Let me draw the tweezers at first. Tweezer. Okay. او زي ما بنسميه الملقاط او forceps. ممكن يكون ليه اسم تاني، ممكن نسميه forceps. It's like that. Surely the fulcrum will be here. Fulcrum will be here because if I separate this place, the tweezers will be useless. لو فصلت المكان ده عن بعضه هيبقى ملوش أي استخدام خالص. Where is the effort force? Effort force is from here. I can use tweezer from this place. Effort force from here and also from here. Where is the resistance force? The resistance force is the thing that I can catch by the tweezers, such as very small nail inside your skin or very small thorn. شوكة دخلت في ايديا for example مثلا بطلعها بالتويزر دوت. So the resistance will be here. So what is the midpoint? ايه هي النقطة اللي في المنتصف هنا؟ Surely it will be effort force. So effort force in the middle, so it will be third class lever. دام عندها effort force in the middle, it will be third class lever. So give reason. Tweezer is considered as a first or as a third class lever, sorry. So because it has effort force F between R resistance and fulcrum O. So again, the tweezer is considered from third class lever because it has effort force between R resistance force and O fulcrum. Another example of the third class lever, which is the hockey pad. Hockey pad is a very common example of third class lever. Hockey pad. Let's draw hockey pad. It's like that. It's like a crowbar. هو شبه تقريبا crowbar, but it's a little small hockey pad. Here is the ball that I want to move. Here is the ball. So the ball is what? Is the resistance. The ball is the resistance. Here is the effort force. I can catch the hockey pad from this point, not from the end point. مش ممكن ابدا امسك الهوكي باد او حتى المانوال بروم او الفishing tool من الاخر بوينت عندها، لا لازم اسيب مسافه شويه. So here is the effort force. So where is the fulcrum? The fulcrum will be here at the end point because this point allow movement. هنا النقطه بتسمح بالحركه، يبقى هي دي اللي هنسميها fulcrum او O. So which is the middle point؟ مين هنا في المنتصف؟ Surely it will be the effort force in the middle. So it will be third class lever. Why? Or give reason? Because it has effort force between resistance and fulcrum. So again, hockey pad is considered from the third class lever because it has effort force between resistance and fulcrum. أو عندها ال F ما بين ال O وال R زي ما اتفقنا قبل كده. The last example of third class lever, and after that we'll practice by imaging or by seeing pictures of lever. So the last example is that manual broom. Manual broom أو المكنسة اليدوية is like that. Let's draw. Okay. Where is the resistance force? Surely the resistance force is at the rubbish or garbage I want to collect. اتفقنا أكتر مرة إن ال R هي الحاجة اللي أنا عايز أعملها. Where is the effort force? Effort force is the place at your hand. So effort force will be here. And where is the fulcrum? The fulcrum is the end point of the stick or the stick أو عصاية المكنسة اليدوية. So it will be here. So which point is in the middle here? Surely the point in the middle will be effort force. So the manual broom will be considered from third class lever. Why? Or give reason. We can say that or we can write because it contains what? It contains effort force between طبعا ممكن نكتب بالsymbol. Okay, it's agreed. Because between O and resistance force. So again, manual broom is considered from third class lever because it contains effort force or F between O, fulcrum, and R, which is resistance force. So now we have practiced more and more to determine the type of lever according to the midpoint, which is the effort force F. Now F here in the middle, it will be third class lever. R in the middle, it will be second class lever. O in the middle, it will be first class lever. So now let's classify. نصنف مع بعض أو نعمل practice نتدرب أكتر some levers into their type. So let's see the first picture. The first picture, as you see, will be the hockey pad. The hockey pad, as you see, has R at the place of ball F in the middle at the place of the hand of the player, O at the end point from outside. So which point here is in the middle? It will be F. So if F in the middle, it will be third class lever. So I can say hockey pad is considered from third class lever because it has effort force between O and R, or effort force between fulcrum and resist. يبقى الهوكي باد او مضرب الهوكي هو ليه بعتبره من ال third class lever? Because it has effort force between R and O. Another example would be the pincers or the plier. ممكن يكون في خلط شويه في المعنى ما بينهم، احنا عارفين الشكل كويس. pincers الكماشه، pliers البنسه. اوكي pincers او البلاير الاثنين بنفس الشكل تقريبا. And all of them or both of them is from the first class lever. Why? Or give reason. Because it has what in the middle? It has O in the middle between R and F. It has fulcrum between resistance and effort force. So the pincers or the pliers are considered from the first class lever, sorry, because it has O in the middle between R and F. It has O in the middle between R and F. Another example of levers, the wheelbarrow أو عربة الحديقة is considered from what? From surely second class lever. Why? Because the place at your hand is the effort force F. The place of the bricks you want to move or you want to carry، مكان الحاجة اللي عايز أشيلها أو أنقلها من مكان لمكان is the resistance force. The place of the wheel، مكان العجلة تحت خالص، هو اللي هنسميه fulcrum أو مكان الروتيشن أو الحركة. So which point in the middle here؟ مين هو اللي في المنتصف؟ Surely the resistance force in the middle, so it will be second class lever. So again, resistance force is the second class, sorry, wheelbarrow is second class lever because it has resistance force between effort force and the fulcrum. Another example, the balance الميزان، the balance أو الميزان is like the swing، هو تبع يعني قريب جدا من السوينج أو السيسو المرجحة. So it will be considered from first class lever also. Why? Because it has O in the middle، هو عنده O في المنتصف between resistance force and effort force، between resistance force and effort force. So again, the balance is a first class lever because it has O in the middle between resistance force and effort force. Another example, stapler أو الدباسة as we said before is also second class lever. Why? Because it has R in the middle between effort force and fulcrum, between effort force and fulcrum. So stapler, reminded please خد بالك كويس قوي منها. Please take care، كلنا ناخد بالنا. Stapler is second class lever, not first class lever. Another example, pliers الكماشة، pliers أو البنسة they have the same drawing أو near drawing to this يعني الاثنين قريبين جدا من بعض في الرسم تقريبا. It has O in the middle between R and F. It has O in the middle between resistance and effort force. So it will be first class lever. So the pliers and pincers are considered from first class lever because they have O in the middle between resistance force and effort force. Another example, sorry, coal tongs or coal holder ماسك الفحم أو حامل الفحم is considered from what? Surely we can see F in the middle between R and O, so it will be third class lever. Why? Because it has F in the middle between resistance force and fulcrum. F in the middle between resistance force and fulcrum. Another example, the crowbar العتلة، crowbar أو العتلة is considered from what? Let us brackets. It has what in the middle؟ مين هو اللي في المنتصف؟ O in the middle between F and R, between effort force and resistance force. So it will be first class lever. So crowbar is a first class lever because it has O in the middle between resistance force and effort force. Another example is a manual broom. Manual broom أو المكنسة اليدوية is considered what? Let us see. It has what in the middle? It has F in the middle between O and R. It has F in the middle between fulcrum O and resistance force. So surely the manual broom is third class lever. third class lever. Why? Because it has F in the middle between O and R. Another example, the bottle opener or the soda water bottle opener. فتحة الزجاجات, it will be what? Let us see. It has what in the middle? It has resistance force between effort force and fulcrum, so it will be second class lever. So the soda water opener or the bottle opener is considered from second class lever because it has R in the middle between O and F. Another example, the fishing tool or the fishing hook. So not a seed. Let us see which one in the middle. F in the middle between R and O. F is the place at the hand of the fisher. ايد الصياد هي مكان الافورت فورس او ايد الشخص اللي بيمسك الفishing tool هو ده اللي هنسميه effort force. So it will be third class lever. Why or give reason? Because it has effort force between resistance and fulcrum. It has F between R and O, so it will be third class lever. Third class lever. Why? Because it has F between R and O. Another example, the nutcracker أو كسرة البندق. Nutcracker كسرة البندق is considered from what? It's considered also from second class lever. Why? ليه هي second class lever? Because it has R in the middle. R in the middle between O and F. R in the middle between O fulcrum and F effort force. يبقى دي nutcracker بعتبرها second class lever because it has R in the middle between O fulcrum and F effort force. The last example is that scissors. Scissors or مقص is considered from first class lever. Why? Surely it's excellent, it's good because it has O between R and F. It has O or fulcrum between resistance force and effort force. So now let's have or let's summarize what we have studied by saying that each lever has 3 points, as we said before: fulcrum, effort force, and resistance force. Fulcrum has a symbol O, effort force has a symbol F, resistance force has a symbol R. So what's the difference between the 3 types of lever? They are differ from each other in the midpoint only, in the middle point only, which is O in the first class lever in the middle, R in second class lever in the middle, F in the third class lever in the middle. So the secret word أو كلمة سرية كده بيننا وبين بعض هي كلمة ORF. ORF هي اللي هتعرفني أي نوع من الليفر. So now when does the lever save effort? إمتى بقى الليفر تكون save effort or save more effort than the other? We can say that the lever save effort when we use a small force to do a big resistance or to do a big task. يعني امتى الليفر تكون مفيدة بالنسبة لي؟ لما أبذل مجهود صغير عشان أعمل شغل كتير قوي. So lever saves effort when effort force is smaller than the resistance force. So now when the effort force is smaller than the resistance force, let's study the lever's law. ناخد بقى درس جديد خالص اسمه lever's law أو قانون الروافع، وده بيفيدني في حاجة مهمة جدا إنه بيعرفني the best type of lever، مين هو أحسن نوع lever. احنا درسنا 3 type: first class, second class, third class. Let's study each one of them by studying the lever's law قانون الروافع and practice to answer some problems of lever law. النهارده عندنا problem، يمكن دي البروبلم الوحيده في المنهج النهارده ان شاء الله، مسائل خاصه بقانون اسمه lever's law او قانون الروافع. So let me write the lever's law or what does this law state. Lever's law says that effort force F by effort force arm F by F arm، هنتكلم يعني ايه بعد شويه. effort force arm equal resistance by resistance arm. So again effort force by effort force arm. طب احنا عارفين effort force وعارفين resistance force. ايه بقى حكايه effort force arm و resistance arm دوت؟ هنعرف حالا دلوقتي ايه معناهم. Let us draw a simple machine such as the scissors for example or a crowbar. Okay, scissors like this. Okay, where is the effort force? Effort force is here, fulcrum is here, and resistance will be here. So what's meant by effort force arm? ايه معنى effort force arm? Effort force arm is the distance between، هي المسافة ما بين effort force and the fulcrum. Again, effort force arm هي المسافة ما بين effort force arm and the fulcrum. So what about the resistance arm? ايه معنى resistance arm? It is the distance between resistance force and the fulcrum. resistance arm. يبقى عندنا تعريفين النهارده أول مرة نسمع عنهم هم effort force arm و resistance arm. ايه معناهم؟ effort force arm is the distance between effort force and fulcrum. What about resistance arm? Resistance arm is the distance between resistance force and fulcrum. يبقى الاثنين مشتركين ان نهايتهم كلمة fulcrum. طب ده هيفيدني في ايه بقى؟ نكتب القانون مع بعض من تاني ونقول what's meant by lever's law. ايه هو lever's law? And by this law we can determine the best type of lever. عن طريق القانون ده اقدر احدد احسن نوع lever ايه هو. I said that effort force by effort force arm equal resistance by resistance arm. Okay? So if I want to use less effort force لو عايز اقلل قوتي okay and enlarge the resistance وعايز ازود ال resistance. So what happened to the effort force arm and resistance arm? If I want to decrease the effort force لو عايز اقلل قوتي I must increase the effort force arm. يبقى الليفر اللي هتكون the best type النهارده احسن نوع هي الليفر اللي عندها long effort force arm. عندها effort force arm اكبر بكتير من resistance arm. يبقى الليفر او في البروبلم النهارده هنلاقي 4 numbers او 3 numbers واحد منهم هيكون missed مطلوب منك تجيبه عن طريق الكروس مالتيبليكيشن. طب اعرف ازاي ال best type of lever لما يكون الليفر فيها effort force arm longer than the resistance arm. يعني هعمل small comparison مقارنه صغيره جدا بين ال effort force arm وال resistance arm. لو ال effort force arm more than أو bigger than أو longer than the resistance arm so this lever will be the best type. هتكون أحسن نوع lever. Why? Because it will save effort. عشان كده هنسميها has mechanical benefit. عندها فايدة ميكانيكية أو ليها فايدة أو بتوفر مجهود أو save effort. So again effort force by effort force arm equal the resistance force by resistance force arm. So again which type of lever will be the best type? Now let us see مين أحسن نوع lever. نشوف مع بعض ونرسم drawing أو sample drawing لل 3 type اللي خدناهم الأسبوع اللي فات والنهارده كمان دربنا عليهم كتير جدا جدا عشان نعرف مين هو the best type. So now let me draw the 3 type of lever and determine on each one of them the effort force arm and the resistance arm. So now first type of lever we know that it has O in the middle between R and F. So where is the effort force arm? I will draw the effort force arm by the red color. It will be this effort force arm. And where is the resistance arm? I will draw the resistance arm by black color. Resistance arm. So in first class lever it may or it sometimes أحيانا save effort and sometimes not. Why? Because if O moves to here or to there لو الأو اتحركت أو effort force arm أو resistance arm كبرت أو صغرت هيبقى النوع الأول أحيانا بيوفر مجهود وأحيانا لا. So I can say first class lever sometimes save effort and sometimes not. What about second class lever? Let us draw second class lever. Second class lever has what in the middle? Has R in the middle between O and F. So where is the effort force arm? Effort force arm is the distance between effort force and the fulcrum. So it will be all this distance. Effort force arm. Where is the resistance arm? It will be the distance between resistance and fulcrum. So it will be resistance arm. So which one is longer? هنا مين أطول? Surely the effort force arm will be longer. So second class lever is the best type. Why is the best type? Because it has the condition. هي عندها الشرط الوحيد للليفر عشان تكون أحسن نوع. إيه هو الشرط دوت؟ Effort force arm must be longer than the resistance arm. So second class lever is the best type. Why? Because it has effort force arm is longer than between resistance arm. Again, why or give reason. Second class lever is the best type because it has effort force arm longer than resistance arm. يبقى ده الشرط الوحيد عندنا عشان احقق او اقول ان الليفر هي is the best type. So what about the third class liver? What about the third class liver? It has what in the middle? It has surely, as we have studied, F in the middle between O and R. So what about the effort force arm and the resistance arm? Effort force arm is the distance between effort force and fulcrum. So it will be this short arm. هنا هيكون قصير شوية. So what about the resistance arm? Resistance arm is all the distance between resistance force and fulcrum. So here, which one is longer, the black or the red? Surely the black, the resistance arm. So the third class lever is the worst type. هي أسوأ نوع in saving effort. But why I use this third class lever? ليه بستخدمها مع ان هي أسوأ نوع او هي ما بتوفرش مجهود خالص؟ بستخدمها عشان وظائف تانية such as accuracy in performance، دقة في الأداء زي التويتزرز أو الكول هولدر أو السويت هولدر، أو avoid danger، تجنب الأخطار زي بالظبط برضو التويتزر أو الكول هولدر أو السويت هولدر. So third class lever is considered the worst type in conservation of effort. هي أسوأ نوع في توفير المجهود. هي doesn't or don't save effort at all. ما بتوفرش مجهود على الإطلاق، لكن بستخدمها عشان وظائف معينة أو tasks معينة for accuracy in performance أو avoiding dangers. What about second class lever? Second class lever is the best type. هي أحسن نوع in saving effort. Why? Or give reason. Because it has effort force arm longer than the resistance arm. So now let's practice. نتدرب مع بعض على مسائل الليفر and the lever's law. Okay? Now let's practice the lever's law. I said that lever's law states what? Lever law بيقول أربع كلمات أو أربع four samples that say that effort force by effort force arm equal resistance by resistance arm. أو F by F dot R equal resistance by resistance dot R. يبقى لو عندي مسألة lever في الامتحان إن شاء الله the first step أول خطوة please write the law. اكتب القانون. And you can conclude or you can exclude، ممكن نستنتج أو نستخرج من البروبلم أو المسألة الموجودة عندي ده given المعطيات and you will have only one demand. هيكون عندي مطلوب واحد بس. You can have the demand by the cross multiplication as we have studied in mathematics. زي ما درسنا في الماث ممكن أجيب المطلوب الرابع أو الحاجة الناقصة عندي في المسألة عن طريق cross multiplication. So now let's practice. I can write at first as I told you the law F by effort force arm equal resistance by the resistance arm. That's the first step. أول خطوة وأهم خطوة في ال problems of lever. So now let's read a problem. نشوف مع بعض مسألة بتقول لي إيه. If a boy sits on a seesaw. مسألة بتقول لي في ال data show the boy sits on a seesaw. Its weight is 250 Newton. Again, if a boy sits on a seesaw, its weight is 250 Newton at a distance about 3 meters from the fulcrum, and a girl sits on the other side. Her weight is 150 Newton. Calculate the distance suitable to seat the girl to make balance. هنا هتخيل ان في ولد وبنت قاعدين زي ما هو بيقول لي على سيسو مرجيحة. اوكي نرسم مع بعض تاني. And the boy has what? Weight has 250 Newton. نرسم مع بعض. And the girl has 150 Newton. And the distance between the fulcrum and the boy is 3 meters. Distance between the fulcrum and the boy is 3 meters. And I want the distance of this girl to make balance. Okay? I want the distance of this girl. So now I can put that given under the law. 250 I will consider it the effort force. طبعا في سيسو ال effort force وال resistance بعتبرهم the same. أي حد فيهم ممكن يبقى effort force أو resistance. effort force arm هو المسافة اللي جنب ال effort force على طول. 3 meters sorry equal resistance will be 150 and resistance arm هي اللي مش موجودة عندي. So the resistance arm is the demand. So I can say the resistance arm is what? I can solve this problem by cross multiplication as I said as you have studied in mathematics. So resistance arm equal what? Equal 250 by 3 divide 150. So it will be 250 by 3 divide 250. So it will be what? It will be, we can summarize, or we can answer this by calculator. Divide 3 by 1, divide 3 equal 50, divide 50 equal 1, divide 50 equal 5. So it will be 5. 5 what? The resistance arm must have the unit of the effort force arm. So here is 3 meters and here is 5 meters. يبقى دايما اليونت اللي موجودة للeffort force هي نفس اليونت اللي موجودة للresistance force. And the same unit we use for the effort force arm and the same unit we use for the resistance arm. So by this problem, or by answering the problem of Lever's law, as I said, you must write at first لازم كويس قوي اكتب في الأول the Lever's law, which says that effort force equal, or effort force by effort force arm equal the resistance by the resistance arm. The problem of lever needs more practice, and I promise you بوعدكم إن شاء الله the next episode we will have more practice for problem of levers and all things about lever, and we are waiting for your questions about the unit 1, which consists of 2 lessons, which are lesson 1 levers and lesson 2 levers law. So now I'm afraid our time is up and we must go now. So now thank you and goodbye.